Let's welcome anchor Greg Shapiro. He is an inductee into the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame. Greg is the author of 2 short story collections and 7 books of poetry. Greg, it's always an honor to be at this table with you.
Ditto.
Yes Institute is hosting a Machismo and mental health webinar on May 13th. Tell me what's happening.
The Yes Institute will host a crucial discussion on machismo and its impact on mental health on Tuesday, May 13th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time via Zoom. The session will explore how societal expectations of masculinity contribute to emotional suppression, increased suicide rates, and health disparities among male-identified individuals. Open to all, the course costs $30 for adults and $10 for students, providing an accessible opportunity to engage in meaningful dialogue about breaking harmful stereotypes and promoting emotional well-being. With men dying by suicide at nearly 4 times the rate of women globally, this conversation is more important than ever. The Yes Institute invites participants to challenge traditional norms and advocate for healthier expressions of masculinity. For more details and registration, visit yesinstitute.org. My husband Rick and I had the pleasure of interacting with some of the good folks at Yes Institute a few years ago when they were conducting interviews with members of the legacy couples. And these are amazing people, really dedicated to their work. And so I think this sounds like a really great event.
You know, this sounds like a conversation that is a harder conversation to have. And anytime it sparks this kind of level of exposing to others and inviting students especially, I think it's extremely important that the conversation is happening. And just because it's a tough conversation doesn't mean it's one that we shouldn't be having.
Absolutely. People of all ages.
Yeah, and I think, some things, I try to monitor what the right is doing. It's not something we like to do.
God bless you.
Yes, I know. It's like taking castor oil or something. But I feel I need to do it to be able to speak to what is out there and not hide my head in the sand. But one of the things I keep on hearing on some more conservative local radio stations or Florida radio stations is this whole conversation about, men, just men in general, especially in the heterosexual community, but I guess across the board, losing their T or their testosterone and that, this whole dialogue that's coming out. And then that puts pressure on people wanting to come out, what the norms are. People start questioning themselves. Many of us are comfortable with who we are.
I was just going to say that we should be able to set the bar and the boundaries for our own norms and not need to listen to whatever once was back in the Stone Age of expectations.
Right, because the right's answer to this is toxic masculinity.
Yes. That's
right. And there's a reason the word toxic is in there.
Yes.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing. And Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at